into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey everybody, we're here for another AFTERBUZZ TV Spotlight On. I'm your host, Francisco Thurston, and today we have a really special guest in studio. He is the winner of So You Think You Can Dance Australia. Please welcome Mr. Michael Dameski.
Hello.
Wait, what season was of that Australia that you won?
It was season 4.
Season 4,
yes.
Okay. So season 4 of So You Think You Can Dance Australia, and I feel like you probably have been like the most successful person to like come from that side of the show. I mean, it's not often that someone's video goes viral like yours did, that one solo that happened on the show, and now you're here in America doing your thing. I think you're probably like, has anybody else been in those footsteps, the same footsteps that you have been in so far?
I mean, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
I definitely have a different life to kind of like a person that is my age.
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful for every opportunity that I have received, and I'm always just going to keep pushing and pushing and staying a student and always learning and being really passionate about it.
Yeah, I love your story. Like, you know, you're 19, right?
Yeah.
19 years old. You are on So You Think You Can Dance Australia. You first of all take the world by storm with a solo that goes viral. You win the show, and now you're here working in LA, and I just love that story. You know, people who are successful and like really go for what they want to go for. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
So a year and a half kind of it's been since you've won the show.
No, it was actually this year.
This year?
Yeah.
2014?
Yes.
Okay, see, I was looking at the dates wrong on YouTube.
That's okay.
Wait, so it was this year that you won the show?
Yeah.
2014?
Yeah.
Duh, Francisco, not 2013. So you won the show in May.
Yes,
Okay.
the finale was on May.
See, I knew
May
that.
1st. Yeah.
You won the show back in May, so it wasn't that long ago. Take me back to that moment. What were you thinking when you were standing on stage, or that day? Like, you know, that has to be one of the most nervous days of your life, like standing on stage.
Yeah, well, I mean, the overall experience of the show was incredible, and I just went into it kind of saying to myself that I just have to do the best I can possibly do, and if they like me, they like me, and if they don't, they don't. And so that's the kind of mindset that I had. I didn't really go into it saying I'm here to be the winner. I was there to just grow as a performer, and that's exactly what I got. And I never expected it to make it as far as I did. And yeah, it came to the top 6, which is when we all had the opportunity to perform a solo. And at first, I actually didn't have the song that I did end up doing.
Interesting.
I had a different song, which was more of like a kind of like a lyrical song, and more had a softer tone to it. And so I just, nothing really, when I would listen to the song at first, I was inspired by it, but then further down the track, I wasn't, like, I couldn't even come up with the first step, and usually that's a problem for me. If I can't come up with the first step, then I'm just going to be stuck for a really long time. And so I got on that stage, and then the people that were directing us and stuff like that were introduced me to this song, and the moment I heard it, I was like, wow,
really
this is
powerful song.
this is exactly what I need. This is what's going to push me over the limit. And so I listened to the song, and literally the next day I had to choreograph it, because the day after that day was the day we were performing it. And so I was in the apartment coming up with some steps, having absolutely no room, thinking, what can I do? What kind of story can I have? Because I really wanted to kind of like create a scene, and I wanted it all to like fit perfectly, and flow. And so it's I mean, in rehearsals when I would do it on the day, I never really looked at it as something that was gonna kind of explode and go viral the way it did, but just the feeling, I think, was very overwhelming as soon as it was over. I was just over the moon, and just to see everyone in the audience like standing on their feet, clapping, and Paula like screaming. It was just like the most surreal moment.
Yeah.
And I hopefully one day I can experience something like that again.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing being a dancer, because we're usually like the people behind the people who are getting that applause. So to be a dancer and to be the star in that moment, to have people standing up for you and screaming for you like that, it's crazy. I can only imagine.
Yeah, that's what I love about the show, is that it shows the audience what we actually go through to get a 1 minute and 30-second routine on the stage.
Nobody knows.
And so that's what I love about it, because people get to see what we go through and see what we have to put into it. Like every week we have a different character we have to portray. We have a different storyline. And that's, to me, that's what I needed to focus on more in the show, rather than the technical side of things. I needed to focus on the character I was going to portray and the storyline. And so that's how I grew as a performer. And kind of like, you're basically an actor on stage, because you're constantly changing week after week. Yeah,
I feel like you kind of have to drag Australia in your version to bring them in to your place that you're acting and you're dancing. People only at home understand stories and emotions, and some people understand dance. They're like, oh my god, what he did was so crazy. But people are relating to you because I feel this, or they relate to that. So I think that's definitely one of the things that, like you said, that you had to focus on.
For sure.
That. And you did it. You won the show. So obviously you did something right.
Crazy. I mean, the feeling of just making it into the competition, when we had top 100 week, just making it to that point, I was already thinking to myself, like, whatever happens, I wasn't like, I'm gonna make it to the top 20 and I'm gonna make it to the top 10. I mean, those are the goals I set for myself,
obviously.
And so just the feeling of starting something and being able to finish it is like I can't even explain to you how amazing that feels.
And it's a long,
it's a really long process. I mean, it is very exciting and very thrilling, but also you go through a lot of stress.
I can only imagine. I've been through a couple of those things, so I know what you're feeling, kind of, sort of. But that's awesome. I love that, I feel like that solo, I don't know if it was a turning point, but it was definitely an introduction of you to the world.
Right,
because sometimes we don't get a glimpse into that show over here in America or anywhere else, because we all have our own, TV programming, but you exploded onto everyone's computer screens.
I mean, I couldn't really believe it, because the show in Australia, audiences really didn't adapt to it that much, as much as we wanted it. We wanted audiences to. And so to get that kind of reaction was like, what the hell's going on? You know what I mean? And so, like, the moment I found out that Nigel Lithgow had tweeted it, I was like, what the hell? This is crazy. And like, it was just, it was a turning point. But even still, in my mind, I might sound a little crazy, but I still did not believe that I was going to be the last one standing.
Really? After that?
Even like, a lot of people around me were going, there's something wrong with you, because you know you have it in the bag. And I was like, I really don't. You never know, because there were so many times where I would do good in the show and then I would be in the bottom. You know what I mean? And it's like, and people would say it's because the audience think that you're going to be safe, therefore they don't vote for you.
There you go.
So it was literally like, every week I'm pretty sure there was a different person up the top of the radar, you know what I mean?
And everyone has a starring moment at one point or another.
Yeah, exactly. And so you just couldn't really predict what was going to happen, and that's why I didn't really predict. I just said to myself, I have to do the best that I can.
And you did. And you did. So to come from that show, and you've been working closely with Paula, and she is who she is. I mean, Paula's a dance legend, also a recording artist, just like legend, and just a legend in general. What has it been like, just having her behind you and supporting you? She's obviously, a mentor kind in sense. So what has that been like? She's
actually the most amazing person ever. I mean, she's kind of like my American mum, my second mum. And she's just been looking after me, getting me to meet people, and just opening me up to all of these opportunities that I really couldn't do all by myself. And so I'm just really grateful, and it's just the person that she is, I love that I have met someone like her, and she really is a rare kind. And so the fact that I get to be in her company every day and spend time with her and laugh with her and just do so many awesome things with her is just an amazing gift.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I've met Paula a few times, and she's always been so sweet. I even talked to her, you know, arranging this, and she's always just been so nice.
Yeah, she is. She's very open to getting me out there, and that's what I really appreciate the most.
Yeah. And especially, you know, being a dancer, it's hard to find those moments to meet those people that you really need to meet unless you're really just all the time going to this and that and this and that and trying to do this. But, you know, it's great to have someone like Paula behind you. You know?
For sure. She's amazing.
Yeah. You're meant to be a star. So you're 19 years old. How long have you been dancing? Like, when did you start? When did you know this was something that you wanted to do?
So I started formal dance training when I was 9. And I mean, as a kid, I played soccer because I have 2 older sisters, and my parents wanted a boy. And my dad, back in his day, was like obsessed with soccer, and he was a professional soccer player. So he wanted me to be a soccer player. And so I actually was pretty good until after every soccer game I would come home and my sisters would be in the house dancing around and being stupid, and I would join in. And so ever since then, I mean, my parents have always been into the performing side of things, not necessarily the dancing side of things, but more like entertaining. And I come from a Macedonian background, which is European.
Wow.
And so every now and then there would be a Macedonian function on, and my dad would always be somewhat involved, and he would get my sisters or me to just sing in front of all of these Macedonian people, and that's kind of how I got into the performing side of things. And they really saw something in me, and then the dancing just took over, I guess. And that's when at age 9, that's when I was taken to my first dance school.
That's fun.
Yeah.
So wait, can you explain what Macedonian is? It's European, but like, where does it come from? Do you know?
I know that it's like near Croatia, and it's near Serbia, around those countries. And I've been there a couple of times.
I was like, where's that at?
It is a very small country, and it's definitely a small community, but it's pretty cool to be a part of it.
I've never heard of it, so you learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Wrinkle in the brain. I feel like it always goes back to those one moments where you find yourself in those performing arts situations, and then they're like, oh, I want to do this. So that's awesome. My dad wanted to be a soccer player too. And he played soccer, and he was my coach for a really long time. I was like, I don't want to do this. I want to be creative. I was always a creative kid, so I relate to you. And my dad was a soccer, just, you're gonna play sports. So I feel you. So formal dance training started at 9. Did you start with ballet? Were you in like a full, you know, dance lesson course with everything, or like, what was it like training?
I actually started with hip hop, and my sister, my younger sister, I have 2 older sisters, and so the younger of the sisters, she was kind of self-taught, and she loved hip-hop as well. And like, we loved to watch movies like Save the Last Dance and Step Up and all of those types of movies when we were younger. And she kind of taught me a few moves, and then that's when they saw that I should, you know, go into classes, and so I started off with hip-hop classes.
Hip-hops?
Yes.
And then full 180.
Full 180, it changed. I was always into like acrobatics as well. Like, as a kid, I would watch Power Rangers every day.
Love Power Rangers.
And I would just love the way they would tumble in it, and so I would try, after watching it, I would go outside in my backyard and try tumble, but I would just pretend, you know, just imagine that I was doing it. And eventually that changed. Like, eventually I got over the fear of going backwards, and so I ended up teaching myself how to do a backflip.
You taught yourself? Oh my god, that's crazy.
I know, it's crazy. I think I just came over that fear at a really young age. And so my first class was hip hop, and then I started to just train in everything. And as I grew up, I at age 13, I got into Billy Elliot the musical.
There you go.
And I auditioned for that. My first audition I didn't get through, and I was really young. I was had hair down to my shoulders.
You had long hair?
Yeah.
Wow.
Curly locks, like Goldilocks. And I had no tap or ballet training.
Which you need for that show.
Yes, which is like what you need to have. And so they saw some potential in me. They saw that I really wanted it. And so they told me, go away and train in those things and come back and audition for us. And then I did that. I did. And I listened to them, and I like really focused, and ended up learning a few tap moves, and got better with technique, and got cast as Billy to play in Sydney.
And that's an awesome role.
Yeah, amazing.
As a kid too.
Yeah.
A professional job.
Yeah, professional job. It was another experience of mine that has been like the most amazing experience, and like. It's just crazy, you know, to have that kind of experience at the age that I was. Live theatre, I mean, there's so much pressure on my hands.
Yeah.
And we're on, for that show specifically, we're on basically 97% of the show.
Yeah, you're the star.
The other 3% were backstage doing quick changes, you know. And so, I got into the Sydney company and basically learnt the show in Sydney, learnt the whole show in Sydney, and then I ended up doing only 5 shows in Sydney just to kind of prep myself for the Melbourne season, and I did the whole Melbourne season. And ever since the Melbourne season finished, because it was only a short run, I was kind of like, okay, well, that experience is over, unfortunately. I have to go back to school and be a normal kid again. But then 6 months later, I got the call if I wanted to go to Broadway.
Most amazing call ever.
And I mean, I didn't get the call, my mum did. Yeah. And my mum's answer was yes.
Duh.
She didn't even ask me yet. So
she was like, you're going, I don't care what you have to say.
Yeah. She answered it correctly for me, but I got to play Billy Elliot on Broadway, which is like
nuts.
Yeah.
You're in New York on Broadway as Billy Elliot.
Yeah, I mean, it was the most amazing experience, and just living that lifestyle, you know, living in an apartment, walking to the theatre, walking backstage, saying hello to everybody, getting prep for the show.
As a kid, did you get to like meet the like people who came from the show? Because I feel like when I went to go see Matilda, there was a rule that the kids couldn't like sign autographs or like take pictures.
No, we did. We were allowed. Yeah, that was the best part. We would come off after every show that we did, and we walk out the stage door, and there'll be the barricades
just waiting,
and there's a whole line of people, and we got to sign autographs and take photos, and it was just amazing just to be appreciated for what we love to do, and just to be able to share that in front of such an awesome and huge audience was just like, who gets that at the age that I was, you know?
Not many. Yeah. And then you also did a tour, right?
The second national tour. Yes, I actually got to do that as well. So I did. I originally was on a 4-month contract getting into Broadway. And then they extended me for another 6 months.
Amazing.
And in between that 6 months, I think I did about 5 months, and then I got offered to go on the second national tour. And so that started, and I went to about 4 cities, and then I got too old.
Really?
Yes, I got too old for the role. Yeah, my voice started to change, and I started to see it, and started to feel it, because they started to change my key in some of the songs I was singing.
Oh no.
And I got too old. And
but at least you got to taste a little bit of the, tour life.
Yeah, the tour life was amazing. I mean, it was much more thrilling, because you get to go. You're only in a city for like 1 or 2 weeks, and then you're moving to another city, and it's fun. It's really fun, and the people you meet on all of these types of things, they just become your family basically, and it's just awesome, to come from Australia and to be working in the United States, and just to feel so welcome is just an awesome feeling.
Yeah, I mean, as a kid too, and you're coming to America to do a big Broadway show, and now you're touring, and who would have thought that was possible when you were younger?
Yeah, no, crazy. It was a crazy experience.
Now that you're in LA and you've gotten a taste of like the Broadway life, is that something that you kind of want to try again? You know, go to New York, see if you can get a role on Broadway some other time?
I mean, I definitely am here to keep my options opened. I mean, I would love to go back to Broadway. I mean, the experience that I had was amazing. And yeah, I mean, I'm here doing small gigs here and there. I've gone to New York, I've gone to Philadelphia, I've gone to Boston, and
all over.
Yes, I'm doing a few performances, teaching at some dance conventions, which is amazing, you know, to be getting those types of things and not to be extremely established in America yet. I mean, to be doing those things is awesome. And so yeah, I mean, I'm here also to train, because obviously the training that you guys get here is definitely different to what there is to offer in Australia. And so I'm always telling myself to stay a student, and that's something that's important. Yeah, that's something Paula has taught me, you know. Yeah. Great advice from her is to always stay a student, keep learning, and yeah, if you keep doing that, you're going to keep staying focused, and you're going to stay determined and stay motivated. And yeah, that's something she's taught me.
I love that.
Yeah.
And like, you're still young, you're 19, and being in LA, the industry is always changing. Yeah. There's always different choreographers coming out with different styles and this and that, and you always have to stay a student because you never know who you're going to come in contact with or have to do an audition for and learn, and you're like, oh God, what is that?
Yeah. I mean, what I'm here doing at the moment is I'm not focusing as much on the dancing as I was earlier in the year doing So You Think You Can Dance. Yeah. And I feel as though I want to get kind of the confidence that I do have in my dance ability within my acting and within my singing ability as well, because I feel as though when you can do all those three things, you have so many more opportunities available to you.
It's versatile.
And yes, that's exactly what I just want to be known for that. I want to be known to be versatile, and I want to be able to go to a singing audition, a dancing audition, an acting audition. I want to be able to do all three. Yeah.
But you kind of already are nailing all three.
I mean, maybe a couple of years ago. Yeah. Hopefully. I mean, I'm here to test that out again. So you're doing acting
classes and vocal lessons as well.
Yes.
So you want to explore the acting industry as well.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You know, you have to dabble in everything. You have to feel everything out and see where you throw a rock and see where it lands. And hey, if I'm going to be good at anything, why not?
Yeah. Exactly.
You offered to perform on So You Think in the United States. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Do that same crazy solo.
Actually, a longer version of it.
Yes. How was that?
It was amazing. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to do it without Paula. Yeah. Really pushing for it. And yeah, I had to get my O1 visa in order to perform on the show, and I literally got that in 3 weeks.
So it was just a quick process.
Yeah, it was like the quickest process ever. And yeah, as soon as the visa got approved, I flew back to Australia. Did a few interviews, finished paperwork, and then the visa got approved and I flew back, and then I performed on the finale of the US So You Think You Can Dance.
I was there that day, and I did all the like red carpet after the show, the step and repeat. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get to after the show walk down the red carpet.
I was asking for you because I was going to ask you to like come in here and do like an interview, but you never came down.
Oh right, I'm sorry. I mean,
no, it's okay.
I think it was. During that time, Paula was actually doing her Avon breast cancer awareness video, and so I was helping her out with that. And so as soon as I finished performing, we were straight to rehearsal.
So you were like just out.
Yeah, just out. Yeah.
Did you just help choreograph, or were you just like an assistant with Paula on that project? Did you dance in that?
I mean, it was definitely like a collaboration. I mean, most ideas were stemmed from Paula. Yeah. And it was based off what she wanted, and so I was just there to support her, help her out. You know, if when the camera was on her, I was behind the camera, kind of going over the choreography with her, just so she can remember it. And so that's what I did on that shoot, and it was amazing.
Pretty good experience, though. Yeah. Gosh, this thing's just in the way.
I've hit my chin a few times.
You're getting to learn kind of everything, you know, behind the camera now, and also in front of the camera.
It's been awesome. I mean, you don't really. I've heard, you know, once you move to LA, it's very slow to start off with. And
It's
so
exploded for you, kind of.
yeah, I mean, it has. I mean, not like crazy, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think it started off really good, and yeah, I'm really grateful for it.
Yeah. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
What do you think about this new format of So You Think? If it was Australia's version, you know, the train versus street dancer, how do you think that would go for you?
Oh gosh, I really don't really.
Or what do you think that these dancers are going to be expecting or kind of going through with that type of, you know, because hip hop is something that America kind of identifies with a little bit more because it's more entertaining sometimes.
Yeah.
But these contemporary dancers and trained dancers are also, you know, so talented. So
Yeah.
what do you think these dancers are going to be going through?
I mean, I probably think at first when they all go into audition, they really
Yeah.
will not know what to expect.
Yeah.
And because it's a new format, no one really knows what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
And so everyone's mind is just going to probably be everywhere. But I think once they get into the competition and once the show like really figures out how it's going to run and how it's going to work,
Yeah.
I think the contestants are going to start getting to feel, you know, a little comfortable with it. And I mean, the experience is it's a tough show because there's
Yeah.
just so many people that have so many unique abilities, and so it's tough for the viewers to really choose who they want to be the winner.
Yeah.
Because it's like you can't really compare, you know, because
Yeah.
everyone's so different.
They are so different.
And so, yeah,
they're changing it up, though.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool that they're changing it up. I mean, I don't know if people are going to audition that have absolutely no technical training,
Yeah.
and they come from the street background. I wouldn't know how they're gonna really pull off the technical side of things.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be really cool to see someone accomplish that.
Yeah, for sure.
And then if they're getting really classically trained dancers having to do hip hop, you never know. Maybe all of the street dancers are mainly going to be focused on like the contemporary styles.
See how they do with it, doing their other.
Yeah. And then the classically trained dancers are going to walk in and they're going to mostly be doing hip hop majority of
That'd
the show.
be a nice little change up.
Yeah, who knows?
You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I just want to know if you had any thoughts on the new format, because I saw that they were, you know, got renewed for another season and they're doing this new thing. So
Yeah. No, I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool.
If you were to be called tomorrow and you were like, what if an artist could call you tomorrow and you can go on tour with them and be a backup dancer, who would you want to go on tour with?
Oh my gosh, that's a really tough question.
Is there anybody that you really want to dance for?
There's
Favorite
plenty
artist?
of people. I mean, I really like Sam Smith. He's cool.
So to just do like a really sick contemporary show with Sam Smith.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking that. I was like, he needs to do some like amazing spectacle behind him with some
Yeah,
like,
that would be cool. I
talented.
think that would be awesome. I'd really like that. But then again, I want to be the supporting act
Yeah.
before they perform,
Yeah.
you know? And so that's what I want to strive to be able to do and eventually do what they're doing.
So do you want to be a recording artist?
I mean,
Is that like your ultimate dream?
I mean, I have plenty of dreams.
Yeah.
I mean, I have like, oh gosh.
That's the
there's
hardest
so
thing about
many.
being a performer.
Yeah,
you have a lot of things that you really want to do.
exactly. I mean, I really want to be like a star kind of actor. I want people to really know me for that, but also I want to involve my dancing side of it as well.
So you want to be J-Lo?
Sorry?
I said, so you want to be J-Lo?
Maybe not J-Lo.
I'm just kidding. No, I
No,
just mean
but-
like how she was a recording artist and she's
then-
also a dancer and she's
Yeah.
also a singer. So
I
like,
just think I want to strive to break through in one thing,
Yeah.
because I feel like once you do that, then you can like moving into something else isn't as difficult. I guess if you have the potential, it isn't as difficult. But
Yeah.
if you're just starting from scratch, I'm not sure.
yeah, it's kind of harder to do that.
Yeah.
You said you were teaching. Where are you teaching at? What conventions are you teaching for?
So I just taught at a convention in Boston, and it was called the New York Dance Experience.
Oh, okay.
And I got to teach 3 classes there, and then I'm teaching at the same convention in Houston in January.
So it's a touring convention.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I'm teaching at another convention while I'm in Houston on the 9th of January, which is called Crowd Pleasers.
Crowd pleasers.
Yeah, so
Okay.
just doing small teaching jobs here and there.
So if anybody wants to go take class from Michael,
Yes, sure.
What do they have websites that people can like check out dates and expenses and stuff
Yeah,
like that?
I'm pretty sure if you just search on Google New York Dance Experience Convention, or if you search Crowd Pleasers Convention, then I'm sure something will come up.
And those are the only dates that you're doing?
Yes,
For now?
Yes, the 9th, 10th, and 11th of January.
There you go.
Yeah.
If you want to go take class from Michael in the new year and learn how to get your leg up like him.
Not really.
Keep hitting myself. No, you're super crazy talented.
Thank
and
you.
like you're not only a dancer, but I feel like there's good things coming for you. And,
Thank
like,
you, I
you're
appreciate that.
meant to be something bigger than just a dancer, you know?
I want to strive for that,
Yeah.
for sure.
Is there anything coming up in terms of performances? Are you doing anything that you're excited about, or anything happening that you want to talk about? Or
I actually just did an audition a couple of days ago, and I got into the dance team for The Fosters, which is on ABC Family.
oh, I love that show.
Yeah, so I'm going to be in the dance team for that, and yeah, rehearsals start on Thursday.
Who choreographs that?
So it's Chris Downey.
Yes, I love Chris Downey.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to meet him. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
And he's a great choreographer, so
Yeah,
it'll be a fun
No, I
time.
definitely enjoyed the choreography that we learnt in the audition.
Yeah.
I mean, I was very stressed out because, you know, I haven't really been open to many auditions because we don't have them in Australia as much as they are here. And so,
But now you're signed.
yeah,
And you're getting these auditions.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
how's
yeah.
that been like? Like, you know, because like you said, you haven't had that many opportunities. You're now in LA with
yeah.
a really talented bunch of dancers. So what is that experience?
I
been
mean,
like?
to be quite honest, at the moment, I've heard that it is quite slow. Because it is coming to the end of the year, and so I haven't really been going to many auditions. In between doing those auditions, I've kind of been busy by performing that solo and performing at events and stuff like that, and going to red carpet events with Paula.
Yeah.
But yeah, that audition was actually my second audition.
Really?
Yeah.
Just only your second one?
Yes. And so, I mean, everyone in there was really good, and I was like, oh gosh, I mean, I have no shot here.
You're fine.
This is my first kind of really kind of audition, and so I was like, I mean, it's cool for the experience, you know. This is what they're gonna be like, so I'm just starting to get used to it.
Yeah.
And then I booked it, which was like crazy.
Boom, done. You booked it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a learning curve, you know, coming out here and doing the whole LA thing. So,
Yeah.
you know, you got to start somewhere. Though.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm glad that you're busy. You seem like a really humble guy.
Thank you.
I think that's going to get you, you know, very far, being humble and
Thank
open
you.
to anything and everything out here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to say, like fans or to anybody that you, any inspirational messages?
I mean, I just would like to thank, I guess, everybody who's kind of supported me and, you know, just been behind my back and help push me to where I need to get, you know what I mean? And I just, I really appreciate those kind of people because it's a really great feeling, and I'm just really grateful. And I'd love to thank my family and my sisters and my mum and dad and my grandparents all at home. They all miss me very much. I'm having to viber them every day.
Viber.
Not having to. I mean, I love vibering them every day.
I haven't heard that in a while, Viber.
Yes, well, that's what we use.
Yeah, it's the only way.
And yeah, I mean,
do you get to see them? Do they come here, or have you been home?
No, I haven't.
Not even for the holidays?
No.
Oh no.
No, I've been here the whole time, and I mean, I'm super grateful for being taken care of by Paula.
Yeah.
She's definitely an amazing mentor, and I just love the person she is, and I'm just really grateful for everything that's happened this year. I mean, it has been the most amazing year ever, and I'm really excited to see what 2015 is going to bring, and I really hope that it is a step up from what happened this year.
It's going to bring a lot. You went from, you know, being a soccer player to now, you know, Billy Elliot, so you think against Australia, now you're in LA, you have a whole like journey ahead of you.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
I wish you the best.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Tell everyone where they can like follow you in terms of social media.
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram at Michael Dameski, and I do believe I have a Facebook fan page as well. That is Michael Dameski fan page. So you can follow that too. And I think Twitter as well, which I don't use that much, but I think it is the LA thing, you know, to use Twitter.
Start tweeting.
But that's at Michael Dameski as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
Follow him on everything. Support his journey. See what he's up to. You guys can follow me on Twitter at @TheFrancisco and Instagram Francisco Thurston and Facebook. All those wonderful things. Yeah. Thank you for coming in today.
No worries. Thank you for having me. I've had a blast.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad America and the world gets to know you a little bit
this
more.
is awesome. Thank you.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.